I'm Dr. Laura Zizka. I've been teaching for over 30 years, 22 of them here at EHL, Hospitality Business School. EHL, formerly known as École Hôtelière de Lausanne, was started in 1893, so it is the first hospitality school in the world. Oh, that was easy. We've always seen these introductions of new technology into education. Began with the internet, and then we had ghost writers. We had all kinds of things that were coming up that you could find via the internet. And we always thought these things were going to destroy traditional education. But in fact, it's just another technology. So our ChatGPTs, our generative AIs, it's just another technology. So in seeing this technology, the idea was to see, are we using it effectively, or how could we be using it better? Well, I began by taking one prompt, the same prompt, and running it 200 times in the free version of ChatGPT. I've seen no study that has done this. So the same prompt, because I wanted to see if you were the first or the 14th or the 79th or the 152nd, if you would have the same quality of results. But I also took that same prompt and ran it 200 times in the paid version of ChatGPT, because everyone keeps talking about how much better that is. So I ran the same prompt, and in running that same prompt, I found similarities very quickly in the references that were used, in the arguments that were made. And I thought, well, maybe it's me because I'm running it on my own computer. So I then branched out and I shared the same prompt with my students, and I had them run the same prompt as well. So here we were able to see what were the differences between what I might have been finding and what they were finding. Further, I initially ran it as an undergraduate level, but I added another layer to it and had the students ask for the initial prompt and then a little bitty bit more by adding, we'd like this at a graduate level, just to ascertain if there'd be a difference between undergraduate and graduate. Oh, unbelievable. There are so many results to share. So first of all, if you're paying for ChatGPT, please don't. The results show that there aren't enough differences, at least not yet, to merit that $20 per month. I found that there are not enough differences between levels. So between undergraduate and graduate, yes, some of the language is slightly higher, but if you compare, it's the same ideas in each paragraph, even the same number of words or the same length of sentences. So you can find it's quite similar. It's just called using a thesaurus, to be fair. There are the same mistakes in references. So if you look at the references for an undergraduate versus a graduate, again, you're going to find as many references that are incorrect, be it free or paid, graduate or undergraduate, same mistakes. Well, what I did was I had my students actually run the prompt in class together. And instead of just getting their own output and reading it alone and thinking it looks great because I'm reading it alone, I had them look at it then with the colleagues around them. And there they were comparing, and there they saw how darn similar it was from one student to the next. In fact, they were flabbergasted. Then I had them look at the references. And they realized, oh, it's the same references. Then I had them look if those references were real. And there they saw they weren't. So only by taking them through the analytical side of output did it start to make sense. Well, one can argue that these ChatGPT or any of these generative AIs, let's be quite fair there, that they're going to help you save time. And that's what students believe as well. But I can tell you that as faculty members, it might seemingly save time with a rubric or with quiz questions. But the reality is you then have to take time at the end of that to check that it's all correct. So at the end of the day, you're not necessarily saving the amount of time that you thought you would to begin with. Nonetheless, it's a great place for brainstorming. Perhaps you're trying to think of a new way to teach a certain concept. Then yes, in that kind of instance, any of your generative AIs might be able to give you enough of a push to get started. They're transferable to every school. They're transferable to every school worldwide. Literally what I found here, we can work on this in higher education to build better courses. The contact address is laura.zizka@ehl.ch. And if you're interested in working on this project with me, please get in touch.